Just throw that in the glove box.
This car is not from the motor pool.
No, it's not. Sexy though, isn't it?
So where's the office, back at division?
You're in the office, baby. Going up. Today's a training day, Officer Hoyt. Show you around, give you a taste of the business, you know?
Meeting and doing this before I go. And there's those big grains falling, but I miss you. I miss you a lot. What do you think? Crazy? No, babe. It's gonna be a while before we can do this again. Because I know you're gonna keep that baby. But I think about you when I do it. I think about how much I miss you, how high we got together, how much fun it was. So much fun. The last little bit before I go to my meeting. Was that fucked up, babe? You think? I think not. I wish I was licking this off your pussy.
Holy moly. What is going on in Miami? That might be one of the best videos I've ever seen in my whole life. Pretty excited about Miami's everything they're doing down there right now. We're going to jump right into it. It's week 6, fantasy football, Dub Crew, best fantasy football league in America, mind you. And we are going to figure out what's going on in the NFL right now. And we're going to start off by bringing on our Miami Dolphins correspondent, Amy Clark. She's in Miami, and we're trying to figure out what in the world is going on with the Dolphins organization. Amy, hi, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
We are great here. So tell us what's going on.
Well, video leaked, which dumb of him for making the video for one, but I think it's pretty funny. I think good for him, you know, to be a coach, like dealing with the kind of guys that, you know, they're dealing with. Do cocaine, who cares?
I like your stance on it. Miami's a great city. I mean, I can imagine it's a party town. So, I mean, what do they expect? I mean, throw a guy in Miami, give him a lot of money, and, I mean, he's probably going to party it up a little bit. I mean, let's be honest. I feel like that's an interesting take based off of the fact that, you know, I mean, their offense is almost like someone is constantly high while they're coaching them, which I think bodes well for the future of their offense right now. But I love it. Do you think that they should have fired him? Do you feel like, you know, he kind of was just living his life? I mean, what do you think here?
Well, didn't he resign himself, or he got fired?
Well, he did. But do you feel like, I mean, obviously that was a forced resignation, but do you feel like, you know, Miami was a little too harsh with him? I mean, I get it. The video is a little creepy. I mean, how would you feel if you got that video from a sexy guy like him?
I mean, the video itself is really, really creepy, like how he does it, and like watching the cocaine fall from his nose, and like the last sentence that he said in there is like the creepiest thing I've ever heard in my life. But in his defense, it's like he's not the one playing the sport. You know, he's not the one out in the field playing. He's just telling these guys what to do. So it's I don't know. It's like almost kind of like one of those things where I'm sure it gets brushed under the table all the time, but just because the video got out, it's like it's more humiliating on the team.
Yeah.
So like I understand you would have to like, you know, quit or get fired for it, but you know, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I agree with you. Do you feel like the Dolphins are going to be better without him now? Or do you think, I mean, they're pretty terrible right now.
I'm sure he showed up with a ton of energy, you know, so.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like they're going to lose a lot of energy now that he probably brought to the table, which I'm worried about.
Oh.
I mean, that guy was spending a lot of his hard-earned money on a lot of drugs that gave him energy that other offensive coordinators are not going to have. And so...
Or maybe, who knows?
What's that?
I said maybe they do. Who knows?
But most of them probably do.
Describing coaches.
What's that?
I said I wouldn't be surprised if they start describing it to the coaches.
Not a bad
I feel
move.
like that's something.
I mean, I thought his energy in the video, minus the content of what he actually said, was lovely. He excited me to do whatever it was that he was doing, even though I don't do that. But he, he brought some really good energy to that table, and he was definitely all over that table. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. This is Amy Clark, our Dup League Miami Dolphins correspondent. Anything that's happening in South Florida, Amy Clark is going to be reporting that for us. So thank you, Amy. We appreciate it so much.
Thanks for having me. Fish fan.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you later. Thanks for being a fan. All right. So you heard that there. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the league. And guys like Team Porter that may have Ajayi or Johnson who have guys like Landry. Maybe the offense is going to pick it up there now that their offensive coordinator, whomever they hire, I know they may have an interim coach now, but whoever they decide on finally may, not be high all the time, which I don't know if that's a benefit or not, given the drug of his choice. So, yeah, we're going to move on, moving into where we're at in the league right now. We had some guests on the show, but we actually decided to just do this one solo. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to talk about you guys all by myself because I feel like that's a lot more fun for me. Our league is really competitive at the moment. And right now, Team Smith, minus the mishap that he had with David Johnson, he's still holding it together up at the front with the first spot. Unbelievable. I mean, the guy's killing it. He's got 585 points for. Team Porter with a 2-win streak going on right now in second. Team Culver's holding strong at third. And I'm not surprised at all with Team Street at fourth. Although, and we'll get into this in a little bit with news around the NFL, we just heard that Ezekiel Elliott, his suspension is now about to start taking place this coming week, which I tried to steal Elliott off of Team Street because my team can handle giving up a player right now because we're on fire, just like I said we would be, and we will get into that. But he's gone for 6 weeks now, and I think that's a problem for Team Street because I think Ezekiel Elliott really did a lot for his team. I was looking back at the points there, and I mean, he's averaging 16, 17 points a weekend, which is not easy to find in the waiver wire. So Team Street, if I was you, doesn't have to be me. I would make a trade, get those points these weekends because, yes, you are 4-1, which is huge given the fact, you're 3-2, given the fact that you now are going to have some struggles going on. Hope it doesn't affect you too much. I wouldn't mind seeing you lose a couple games. So the rest of the league, Team Gulabev in the middle of the pack. I love Riley Smith's name change every week, given what's necessary. It's Team Fuller 5 this week. He's on the line there about doing anything. I think he really could do a little better, but I mean, he's in the middle of the pack, which is fine. Team Johnson doing okay. A lot of points for, and I'd say he has the second most points for. First would be Team Smith. Third, surprisingly, would be Team Bardis. Let's get into Team Bardis. I can't get over enough about how, the 0-3 start. It was hard. My team was trying to find their bearings, but that's what all-stars do. They don't just go out and they ball for 16 weeks. They don't. These guys are sustainable guys. They're lasting. They're not injured. They're not going to become injured. like Odell Beckham Jr., who Team Porter just smartly, very savvy team owner just traded for off of Team Perina, Shane Connolly, which we're all surprised about that trade, given the fact he's 0-4, about to be 0-5. He is 0-5, I'm sorry, about to be 0-6. And so my team is killing it right now. We got Larry Fitzgerald. He's hot every week. He's the number 8th ranked quarterback or wide receiver in the league right now. We got Terrell Pryor sitting on my bench, and he's going to stay there until it makes sense. And Kirk Cousins finally getting it together. And then I picked up McKinnon this last week, who had an unbelievable weekend. And then obviously I have Le'Veon Bell and T.Y. Hilton, guys that are going to kill it. I've been interim with my tight end, and that'll change as goes. But I'm playing Team Plumber this week. Complete joke of a team. No, I'm kidding. It's not bad. He does have Julio Jones, who's now back in the lineup. He did make it some decent moves, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Let's talk about bottom of the barrel of the league right now. Bottom of the barrel is someone that constantly is just not doing anything, which is interesting because this person that's bottom of the barrel, yes, has the worst record in the league, but is on the waiver wire. If anyone pays attention to the transactions going on that wire, this guy's making moves, and he's just not bettering his team, although he did get rid of Odell Beckham Jr., which is a huge trade given the fact he's already 0-5. And so I'm not confused because he's constantly down there, but I am confused given the fact that his team's not respecting the fact that he's excited to get a win. So Shane, you are in bottom of the barrel of the week, bottom of the barrel of the season up to this point. I've been there. I was there, and I don't plan on going back. I know what it's like down there. I don't want to be there. So good luck. I really hope you get a win this week. Just want to throw that out to you. So we'll just move forward from there, guys. We're going to do news around the NFL this week. Obviously, the ODB injury is unbelievably detrimental to a team like Team Porter. There's no one he's going to pick up off the waiver wire that's going to have any kind of substance comparatively. You might be able to pick up a guy like Jermaine Kearse. Not sure if he's still out there. I dropped him last week. He's got a guy that has a lot of upside, only wide receiver really out there, but they like to use the run game. But moving on to Adrian Peterson trade. I love this trade from the Saints to the Cardinals. The Cardinals need it, and the Saints didn't know what to do with him. We had a guy that was quick on the waiver wire in Team Plumber, whom I'm playing this weekend. I'm hoping that Adrian Peterson doesn't figure it out this weekend because that could be detrimental to my game. But I do love the fact that the Cardinals were excited to sign him because I think he's unbelievably useful within the league and could be huge for the Cardinals given the fact David Johnson's out. Going back to Ezekiel Elliott, I did see that Team Street picked up backup running back there, not McFadden, and I thought that was a good move. So, yeah, guys, I'm excited about what's going on around the league. One thing I was super surprised about was the tie between, I believe it was Team Tice and Team Johnson last week. That happens very rarely in our league. Doesn't help anyone's schedule, really. It doesn't really help their standings. But I thought you guys fought it out. I think it was 102.5 to 102.5. I thought that's wild. We don't see that very often. So I think I'm going to throw some predictions out there this week in our league. And one will be most points scored this week. Most points scored will be my team, without a doubt. Once again, I know Ed Dixon only had 5 points last night, but I think my team's going to kill it. Lowest scored points this week, I believe, is going to be Team Porter. I think Team Porter is going to completely shit the bed this week. I just think they're a little down from the ODB injury, even though they just acquired him. And I don't think they really know what to do in the front office about it. I had a conversation with Team Porter, and I think he's a little worried. So, yeah, guys. So that's actually it. We're having a very short show this week, given the fact we have no guests, but I didn't want to skip out. I wanted to let you guys, keep you guys updated within the league. And next week we will have guests again. It'll be the Halloween edition, so everyone will be in costumes. And we're going to move forward from there. I hope you guys have a good games this week. Good luck. And we'll see you next week. All right.